Hello all, Jamie Rodgers here from Jamie Rodgers Crafts, and today I thought we'd have a little look at how to make this card. It's a very small, simple, delicate card, and it's just going to be playing around with my new Pigment ink pads, a little bit of texture paste, and of course the essential Christmas die collection. So let's jump in and have a little play with this. So first of all, for this card, we're going to need the Festive Collection Christmas Scene, which is JRCD0017. Now this set's going to give us the trees and of course our sleigh and reindeer. There's also a set of houses that can be used too to build up your scene further. And with these dies, they don't have blades on the edges or the base of them. So if you would like to match them up and cut them longer or have them on deeper panels, you absolutely can do, giving you a little bit more variation on how you're going to be playing with these and what you can create with them. On top of that, you've also got our lovely sleigh and reindeer, which all comes in one die, so it's easy to cut for you and great to build up in 3D if you'd like to make more depth with this one. So moving on then, let's have a little look at the actual card and the cuts I've done already. So we already have a couple of the trees cut out, and I've already gone ahead and I've cut out one set of the sleigh and reindeer in silver and one in white. The white one I've coloured in with some alcohol markers, so it's ready to go onto our project just for some speed. Now back to the trees, as I mentioned, these do have or don't have as such edges on the sides or the base, so if you wish to match them up you can do. In this case I've just trimmed them off of my card, so I'm left with just one cut as you see it, and I've done that twice. We're then going to bring in some ink and we're going to add a little bit of colour to these. I'm going to bring in some paper to work on, and we're going to be using the Chameleon Green Quick Dry Pigment ink pad. These are one of my brand new ink pads. There's 6 in the collection so far, and these are just lovely to work with. They're, as I say, quick dry, so we can brush them straight over our cardstock and know that they're going to dry pretty quickly. They're going to give us that sort of vintage distressed effect to our trees and give us a little bit of tone going around the edges. Now I'm working with our Heritage Green cardstock, which of course is another one of our Jamie Rodgers products. It's our elite cardstock, so it's a 300 GSM, so it's nice and robust when it comes to building and creating depth, but equally quite nice for doing your embossing, your die cutting and your stamping. It's not too heavy. So we're going to brush this just going across the tops of the trees, just adding in that little bit of texture. Nothing too heavy, just a small amount. Now this will dry in a second and it will settle down. We know that that will happen and it'll absorb into that cardstock, go slightly lighter. We're then going to bring in some of our glue. So we're going to use the Jamie Rodgers Dries Clear Glue as well, or the clear drying glue. We're going to add a small amount of this onto the backs of the trees and around these areas. Now this is a PVA glue, so we know that even if it comes out the sides, it dries clear, so we have no fear that it will be seen. We're then going to take our trees and we're going to layer them. We know that we don't need the whole length, so we're going to layer them off panel as such so that they've got the 2 different heights of trees coming through and that we can see both bits. Now very easily we can start snipping this down to our project. So I know how big I want this to be in the end result, but at this stage if we just want to tidy it up, we can take away these 2 edges from where we didn't choose to extend our cuts and see just that part. It's just a little bit neater, isn't it? We're then going to bring in one of our blending mats and we're going to bring in our texture paste. Now this is our Gemstones texture paste. These are new, there's 6 colours available, and I've released the Christmas colours to begin with. So we've basically got a white, a black, a red, a green, a gold and a silver. There are more colours coming later in the year. Now I'm going to start off with diamond white. So I'm going to open this out and I keep my little lids in place because it just helps keeping everything fresh. And we're going to bring out a small amount of this. I'm going to do this with a fan brush because I know that I'm going to be adding some water to this. We're not going to use it as a texture paste. We're going to take that and we're going to dilute it down slightly. Now, of course, we can use this with a palette knife for stencils. We can brush this onto our card as well to have a bit more depth with it. We can do loads of different effects of these. But at this stage, I'm going to take the first part. And while our brush is relatively dry, we're going to take this and we're just going to brush it across the tops of the trees, just to give that slightly glistened, as if the snow's coming down, touching them treetops effect. We can come down to the lower ones as well, just making sure that we get a little coverage across the project. Now this goes on with a clear medium, so it's a white glitter suspended in a clear medium. The clear medium will dry clear, so that you won't see it, but you'll be left with that sort of snow just kissing the tops of the trees. Very easy to do and very effective once dry. The bit that's left here, we're going to bring in some water and we're going to dilute that down. I've just got a cup of water slightly off screen so I can bring that in, just dilute that down further. And we're going to bring in a piece of our Night Sky Navy cardstock. Now, we will put a piece of paper under this just so that if we end up with it going everywhere, we're slightly tidier than we should be. Usually I'm not this tidy or organised, but we'll give it a go. And then we're going to take our finger and we're just going to tap this going over that navy piece of card. Now, wherever that white glitter lands, once dry, it will look like we've got snow falling. So very easy to do. And of course, we do have a snowfall stencil. So if you would prefer a more prominent style of snow, then you can go in with this one. But actually for this scene, I really just wanted a delicate frosting of snow, nothing too heavy. So of course there's quite a bit of water in this at the moment. That's going to dry as well as, of course, that clear medium. And then you will just see them speckles of snow shining through. So if we give you a look at this panel, this is showing you one that's dry with that snow in place. So again, just the white bits, just giving you that lovely snowdrop feeling. So we'll get these ones out of the way. Obviously pop your mat into some water so that comes off. We don't want that to stay on there. And then we'll start building up our card. So let's bring in our card blank, shall we? So let's see if I can find my rule. I've got one here somewhere. So this is a 6 inches approximately by 3 3/4 inches card blank. And I've cut it so that it opens on this side here. So this is cut down from a larger card panel. I'm going to start off by bringing in some of our silver mirror card, and that's going to be our first layer. I know that I'm going to end this with a silver sleigh and reindeer because I've already cut that. So it's nice to match in the silvers that are going to be appearing throughout the layers. So we'll place down the first layer and then we can bring in that snowy background that we've created. So again, onto the reverse with some clear drying glue, and then we can place that down, just giving us that slight edge coming through. Now I've already gone ahead and trimmed my trees so that they fit perfectly onto my panel, and I've added onto the reverse just a small line of foam tape. So I've got a little boost of height there so that my trees are prominent against that night sky. I'm going to bring those in and place them down on the top. Again, very easy to do. And of course we could have put in the buildings behind there as well if we wish. That die fits perfectly too. So we could have buildings either behind or in front of the trees to really build up that scene. But actually I'm relatively happy with this as you see it. I'm then going to bring in the sleigh and reindeer. I'm going to add a little bit of glue onto the reverse of these, just enough to anchor them down in place. And we'll place that going probably just through there. I had a couple of little big bits of snow that I'm quite happy to cover up so that we end up with more delicate pieces than larger particles. And then we're going to bring in our top coat of our sleigh and reindeer. Now this one I've gone ahead and I've put just a couple of small pieces of foam tape on the reverse of it so that we've got that little lift between the silver and the coloured version. Now I coloured this with a choice of, or a selection of alcohol markers, and I also used a glitter brush pen just to bring in a little bit of sparkle as well. I'm going to slightly drop shadow that so it's just slightly underneath the silver one, and that gives you a little glimpse at how you could create this style of effect. Now of course play around with your colours, build up different scenes, go for different sizes, but that gives you a small idea on what you could be creating with these products. If you would like to get your hands on any of the bits and bobs I've just shared with you in today's video, then check out our stockist guide. You'll find it on the website, which is www.jbrogerscrafts.com, and on there you will find the list of all of our stockists in the UK. We'll soon be adding international stockists as well, so keep a little eye on that list. In the meantime, several of our UK stockists do of course post internationally, so have a little look around and see what you can find if you would like to receive our products from around the world. But as I say, stockist list with all of our UK stockists currently updated so that you can find where to get the goodies from. Thank you very much for watching today's video. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye for now.